don't know who I am. I don't remember where I started to pretend. I'm afraid of being vulnerable. People see the real me, the person I try not to.
I'm Debbie Hopkins, and we're today on location in Wolfboro at the Folk Cellar. And with me is Cheryl Taylor. Cheryl, I want to talk to you about your daughter, Alexis, who was in a program last year. But first, let's begin with talking about you. You are an advocate for children. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I advocate for children with disabilities and different ways of processing, trying to write up educational programs to help them learn easier.
Okay. And your daughter, Alexis, was in a very special program last summer, I gather.
Yes,
It was Power of Music, New Hampshire.
Yes,
Tell
she
us
was.
about that and her experience, if you would.
She started this program, and she had been studying the keyboard for a while and really hadn't brought it together with other kids. And the Power of Music created a doorway for her to start doing her musical things with other people. And
These were all teenagers?
yes, they were.
And it was a summer program. How long in duration?
I believe it was about 6 weeks. I think there were 2 sets of 3 weeks, actually. And she went in the evenings in the beginning, and she met new people. They were people she maybe had seen in her life before but never really related with. And she had been going through some things herself, as teenagers do. And this musical
outlet?
Yeah, it was great for her because, you know, at first she was kind of shy about it because she didn't really know these other kids. But when you bring music into it, all of a sudden it opens up a way for kids to share and get to know each other.
Makes them a little more comfortable. They're not talking one-on-one. There's something else going on for them to concentrate on and work with.
Yeah, it is. It's like, because it's an art form, it shows that they have something in common. You know, they have an expressive way that they deal with life together. And so they have that in common, and then they're joined. And I believe my daughter was joined with these other kids through music. And
you found it a wonderful exercise for her, experience for her.
you know, I actually did. At first I wasn't sure how she was going to be with it, and then she would come home and she had a journal, and she would write her thoughts and her feelings in the journal, and she would take those words back to this class.
Did they work on lyrics and compose as well as play?
They absolutely did, and the words that they journaled in their time at home, they would bring back together and then share with each other. They would then turn those words into lyrics for songs, and again, those words and the lyrics to the songs were ways of emotionally dealing with the things that they're trying to process in their worlds, and you know, the things they're going through that we as parents don't always understand.
Teenage angst and trying to fit into the world.
Yeah, and I think the world is a very hard place for kids to fit into right now, and harder than maybe when we were kids.
I would agree. Too many fears out there.
There's a lot of it, and this gives them a safe place where they can express their feelings, where they're not going to be judged. They can put it out there musically, they can put it out there emotionally. And it works for all different kinds of children who have either emotional things they're going through or just, you know, everyday things they're going through.
About how many children were in the course?
I believe that there were 6 kids to start with, but I think it's ever growing. You know, and as the word gets out there, hopefully it'll just grow more.
What ages were?
Well, my daughter was 15. She was 14 when she started. She's 15 now, but some of the kids were older than that. You know, I know one of the other girls was at least 16, and so they're all in the teenage range.
Had they all had some musical training?
I believe that most of them had, or at least they had a musical interest. And this opened the door to that interest and to be able to grow with it.
Was the direction
There was
about
a lot
the
of
music writing?
Yes, there was. I think there was a lot of that. The woman who ran the program, Barb, was Barbara Hughes.
Barbara Hughes,
Was
yeah.
very, very welcoming to the kids, and they felt warm and comfortable with her. I think that's really important. I believe that kids don't open up to adults that often, but Barb's easy to talk to, you know, and at least for my daughter, she was. My daughter felt comfortable putting her thoughts out there, and I don't believe that
She
that's...
was not judged. They did not feel they were being judged.
No.
They were comfortable in that regard.
Yeah, and I mean, they made connections that they still carry with them in life, you know, not just in that class. And I think my daughter was going through a lot of things that a lot of kids do go through at that time. You know, all of the stuff they're exposed to, and do you say yes or do you say no? And how do you respond to all of that? And they have what we'd like them to do, and then they have their own thoughts. And this was a place where they could put that all into words and process it.
How did it end? Was there any sort of performance for
Yes.
the ending?
Alex has done a couple of different performances with this group, and they are also working on a recording that will be out there so that other kids can hear it, and maybe it'll help them to process some of their feelings and understand that, you know, they're not the only ones who feel it, and it's also like a culmination of all the kids' emotions coming together. So it's a beautiful thing that they can make this into music. I actually was getting gas at the gas station one day, and I saw Barbara in my rearview mirror, and I got out because I teared up because I felt how much she had done for my daughter in helping my daughter express herself. And I jumped out while they were filling the gas tank up in downtown Wolfboro and gave her a big hug and thanked her. I don't know that she, until that time, knew how important she'd been in my child's, you know, development.
Nice.
So it was important to me and to my daughter.
Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you,
Cheryl.
Deb. Thanks for
Appreciate
asking
it.
me here.
So Vanessa, I understand you actually wrote the theme song for this whole performance.
Yes, I did.
And it's called The Mask.
Yes.
Just like the whole gig.
Yes.
So tell me about that. How did you ever get into that?
Well, my mom was a friend of Barb's, and she introduced me one day to Barb to take a class here, and we decided to write a song, like, around the mask. It was a theme, and we just came together once a week, and we came up with this idea, and it's about how people are behind what people see.
So there's something else going on behind what's on the outside.
Yes.
Now, how did you get in tune with that at such a young age?
Well, I've always loved music. I play the violin, and I used to write music when I was younger, and I just never thought anything of it. So when I came here, I really loved doing it.
Have you noticed that there's a difference between what people show on the outside and what goes on the inside?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, how do you get into the inside? Have you figured that out yet?
No, I still haven't figured that out yet.
But what about with music? Have you found that this song does any of that for you?
Yes, I have.
What about the song? Tell us some more.
Well, writing it, when you're writing lyrics for a song, especially this one, you really get into it. Like, you feel like you're the person that's in the song, and when you write it down, it's really coming from inside, and it's just really fun to write all this.
Now, did you and your mom write the song together?
No, Barb and I and Amber wrote this song.
All right, so it was a group effort.
Yes, it was a group effort.
And you were probably playing off each other's inspiration.
Yes.
Okay. And when you were writing it, how did you feel in the process?
I felt a little overwhelmed, to tell you the truth, because it was a lot to handle, because I I'm used to writing lyrics by myself, and when I see other people contributing to lyrics, then I didn't like it because they would change my ideas, and so.
Well, what do you do then?
Well, we compromise. If one of us doesn't like it, then we'll come up with something different but the same.
Okay, so there isn't just one person who's the boss.
No.
You all just kind of go on it together.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are some of those lyrics in the song that you really particularly like?
Well, one of my favorite lyrics would have to be...
Drawing a blank?
Yeah. I like all of the lyrics. I don't really have a specific one.
Okay.
So,
Now, have you performed the song with any of your friends?
no, not yet.
So this is going to be a grand opening here.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Are you a little excited about that?
I'm excited, but I'm also really nervous
Uh-huh.
to do it.
Yeah? Well, what are you worried about?
Performing in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, but you were a musician for a while.
Yes, I've been playing the violin for about 8 years now, and I was in chorus through my middle school
Yeah.
for about
But
5 years.
it's always nerve-wracking when you do have to get up there in front, especially when
Yes.
you're doing something that you've written.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Vanessa. Good
you.
luck with your song. I know it's going to be a hit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.